But I think we'll kick off. Everybody will join. We're 7 minutes in, and they'll join as we go. And you've got the tasting order. The first one is the blended grain, 35-year-old. Tatsuya, that's leave it up to you to explain a bit of just while they're enjoying that whiskey, bit of background as to how you got into this and how come you have such a broad Scottish accent.
No, I don't. Okay, so shall we start? Can I?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. I cannot hear anybody. How should I do?
No, they're all on mute, so they can
okay.
they'll any messages in the chat I'll read out, but otherwise we
okay.
keep them on mute and you just keep on going.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tatsuya from Highlander in Clegerahi. Yeah, I'm delighted to hosting online whiskey tasting today. I've been in Scotland for almost over quarter century, but you must be noticed. I don't have much Scottish accent. I still have a very thick Scottish Japanese accent. So if you don't understand what I say, just let me know. Yeah, I will repeat again. Okay, I'm disappointed today. Not many female, no ladies, all broke. Yeah, I shaved this morning just in case someone may fancy me. But I'm married, by the way. Okay, so whiskey number one. Maybe you have a list in front of you, and this one here, Oishii Guerin Wisuki, 35 years old. I don't know how much you're selling for in Australia. Here, I don't know. It's not a super expensive whiskey. We started making Oishii whiskey, releasing Oishii whiskey since 2016. That's we do once a year. Normally come with blended whiskey, but 2023 release was blended grain, just one-off, just to do something different. Yeah, reason why we normally do many of our bottlings are single cask bottling, but reason why we do blended whiskey and sometimes blended grain, I'm sure one of you or some of you believe single malt is the best whiskey. Single cask is even better. But I don't like that kind of mentality because reason why I'm really into whiskey when I was still, teenager age, I don't know, 19, possibly 20 years old, one blended whiskey made my life totally different. I had a blended whiskey called Valentine, 17 years old. So almost 35 years ago, the whiskey, I thought, when I tasted, wow, this is tasty. That's why I started really into whiskey. So I don't like, or I don't appreciate the attitude people think single malt is the best whiskey and the blended is maybe second class or third class. So depends on what you pick, what you drink. And this one here is a blended grain whiskey, blended grain, not blended whiskey. So not malt whiskey inside. So let's have a taste. Yeah, I haven't tasted Oishii Guerin for a long time. So this is much lighter kind of spirit. So maybe if I use the other way, if it's malt whiskey, individually, like a one from Ida, one from Speyside, totally different. But grain whiskey, to me, one from Invergordon, one from Strathclyde, one from North British, it's very neutral spirit. So actually absorb the character or creates the character during a maturation. What type of cask they use? American white oak, European oak or sherry or bourbon. This is predominantly American white oak. So you can expect aroma of coconuts, vanilla, and possibly kind of citrus. What do you think? And we will taste another 5 whiskey, 6 whiskey today. We both, I do like the style of whiskey, second refill rather than first fill. Depends on whiskey again. If it's young whiskey, 6, 7, 8 years old, I possibly pick first fill sherry, first fill bourbon. But if it's reasonably matured, age over close to 20, over 20, or something like this, 35 years old, I do like refill cask. Again, people may think, that's it, to be honest, your own preference, but people think first fill whiskey, first fill sherry, first fill bourbon is best parts of the whiskey. You know, the whiskey industry, once they made a cask, they use approximately 50 years. So once they used for 10 years, they empty it, then they reuse again. So second refill means they've been used once before, then empty it and use again. So it all depends. They use maybe 3, 4 times. So I do like using second refill or some case third refill. First fill cask can be all flavor is dominated from the cask. Some people may like it. We have done a couple of times, but it's not our style. I do like second refill. So after you tasted this, any comment on this?
A few comments coming through. Michael says beautifully balanced, clean, different dry, grassy notes. He loves an old style grain whiskey. Josh, who bought this bottle at the distillery, not at the distillery, at the Highland Inn when he was visiting there. He likes refills. It's the spirit shine through more. And I have to agree that there's, I think, certainly second fill sherry just gives a lot of balance to a whiskey. Even at a young age, and it's certainly an underappreciated skill in using the refill casks.
Right.
In terms of the kind of the sweet spot for ages of grain whiskey in refill casks, is there a point that you think, well, it needs a bit longer? I know we did you did the 14-year-old, which was fantastic. Was that also in a refill cask?
No, the 14, that was second refill.
Yep.
European oak sherry. So if you still have the bottle, maybe the color-wise, for the sherry, it's quite pale, but people say first fill is dead easy, use first time. But second refill, for example, people say, oh, this is second refill sherry. Are you sure it's for pale? But not many people know actually how many years they used for first maturation. So if they use the cask, same cask for first maturation, let's say 25 years or 30 years, when they use second time, obviously influences are much less, color, flavor, and also aroma. But the 14 years old Oishii Guerin was second refill European sherry.
For this to sit in the cask for 35 years, that's really something special.
Yeah, I think because trend of blended whiskey is kind of slow down massively. So all distillery, they used to they had a plan to make exclusive blended. something like a 25 years old, come from Diageo, Pernod Ricard, or Edrington Group, but demand is slowed down. So stuff they were maturing for exclusive blend, they don't know what to do. Yeah, because people don't drink all the blended these days. So those leftover, maybe I can say leftover, actually available to purchase at the moment. But I don't know, difficult. We do bottled grain whiskey, but for the bar, like I was talking to one of the independent bottlers trying to sell their whiskey, I purchased a couple single malt, single cask, but blended. He said, beautiful. I agreed, but difficult to sell. Even we bottled the grain whiskey. I don't know you guys in Australia. Grain whiskey, is that popular?
Well, it's really it's not. I wouldn't say it's popular, but that's something that us, the whiskey list have been promoted, and through Oishii and certainly I think the 14-year-old was incredibly successful. Is that it's starting to get a bit of traction, but still in the let's call it the enthusiast market. Definitely not
Right,
mainstream. There are a few mainstream grain whiskies out there, but nobody talks about them. They appear.
right.
There's I can't remember the name now, but there's one that's um, part of from Loch Lomond, Spearhead, I
Okay,
think it
okay,
might be. It
okay.
just appeared on shelves. Nobody talked about it. Nobody, but that's a grain whiskey, and which is
Mm-hmm,
excellent. Um, but
mm-hmm.
but there's nobody promoting it, marketing it, talking about it. It would sit on at a supermarket shelf and just sit there because nobody understands it.
Right.
So
I
that's
think
that.
to me, I don't know. I'm trying to my best, trying to reduce the cost or price for importer or importer. But I believe, the price and the quality need to be balanced. So this whiskey, 35 years old grain whiskey, I think tasty, but this one shouldn't cost here in UK like a 500, 600 pound as a too dear. Say, my favorite phrase, if you buy BMW, you pay BMW price and expect BMW quality. And no disrespect, if you buy Kia, for example, you pay Kia price, and I hope you don't drive Kia. If you do, I do apologize. if you buy Kia, pay Kia price, and you receive Kia vehicle quality. So whiskey has to be same. This is 35 years old Oishii Guerin Wisuki. I don't know how much you paid for, and you receive. I hope you're happy you pay for when you taste this whiskey. Yeah. Yeah. So shall we move on to whiskey number 2?
Number two, which is so I'll put that into the chat. That's the Water of Life 23-year-old.
Ah, okay. I already spoke to Chris as we have done during a pandemic 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. So I don't have a whiskey here, but I can talk through with my Oishii Guerin Wisuki. That's possibly bottled 2020 or possibly 2021. And 3 years ago, I don't know, maybe you don't do bottle yourself. Cask, price of cask or whiskey, liquid, is getting ridiculously expensive. But that time, 3 years ago, because of blended malt whiskey, combine of Glenfiddich, Balvenie, and Kinninvie, those 3 distilleries, all owned by William Grant. So I had an offer from broker, and I did know Aldunie, mix of those three distilleries, but when I tasted, I found really good. And that's, I think, first project with whiskey list, as far as I remember. Yeah. And I wanted to introduce under the Maggie's collection, which is Maggie's collection is a whole cask, almost whole cask goes to one single market. For example, all whole cask goes to Australia, Indonesia, South Africa. But Chris come to me rather than, must be he had some business sense. Rather than Maggie's collection, I want to create, or he wanted to create some Japanese theme label with Japanese artist he knows. So that's why we end up to whiskey called Water Life. And I can't remember the label. I think it doesn't say Aldunie. If you have a whiskey in front of you, can you check? Doesn't say Aldunie, yeah.
I do have, I'm not at home at the moment, but I do have one still at home. But
yeah.
I
don't think I think only say Water of Life, doesn't say Aldunie.
I don't think so, no. But yeah. I remember when we were promoting it, we used the reference of those three William Grant distilleries because what Australians are used to is monkey shoulder.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is basically we're saying, well, if you like monkey shoulder, this is a 23-year-old monkey shoulder, but better.
Yeah. Say for example, that's a good you spotted good subject, David. Say biggest differences, monkey shoulder and Aldunie is made from those three distilleries, all owned by from William Grant. But monkey shoulder is all three distillery individually matured. Then after 4, 5, 6 years later, young whiskey, 4, 5, 6 years later, combined together, blended together by master blender. That's a monkey shoulder. But Aldunie concept is slightly different. All those three distilleries, liquid from three distilleries, married together, then put in a cask. So you might think, oh, same things, isn't it? Just monkey shoulder is young, three distillery, three liquid, and Water of Life, or Aldunie is older version. It's not. For example, if you look at Balvenie, used to call, well, we still have, you can buy in Australia and the UK, 12 years old double wood. Double wood is certain year, let's say over 10 years, has been matured American white oak, then transfer to sherry cask method. And another one, maybe not available anymore, stuff called Signature is 12 years old American white oak and 12 years old sherry cask combined together to create 12 years old whiskey. So sounds very similar, both 12 years old and both use American white oak and European oak or sherry oak, but outcome is totally different flavor. So Aldunie is vatting of from age 0, from the birth, marriage together, and matured. Monkey shoulder is young version, but three liquid individually matured, and when before they bottle, combined together. Makes big difference.
So who had that vision? So who had that vision that 25 plus years ago to marry the spirit first and then put it in the cask? Was it something that William Grant were thinking of releasing as a whiskey, or was it somebody's special project? Because has it been done since? Has it been done again?
I don't know they're still making Aldunie or not, but I think things like same as this, Oishii Guerin Wisuki, 1980s, 90s, still whiskey industry driven by blended whiskey. So I assume, I'm quite sure they are thinking to use those Aldunie to make a William Grant blended whiskey, Grant, or possibly Gordon Highlander, using for blended whiskey purpose. Yeah.
So just to clarify that Josh has pointed out that link only shows 3 bottles. Well, that's because those are the only 3 that are available that aren't literally unicorn bottles. We've got only 1 bottle that we've split to share amongst all of you. For example, this one, I don't know if anybody has a bottle of this left on their shelves. So I'll just repost the link. There's only 3 that are available. The other 3 are completely unique that we've got the privilege of tasting tonight with the person that made it, which is really special. We don't get that often. So that's that. This is one that was available in Australia but completely sold out unless people have still got them on their shelves. It's really the Auchentoshan, the 1989 Secret Speyside, and the Maggie's Collection Royal Brackla. All the others, I'm afraid, we can enjoy and savor. You might want to keep some for later, not drink it all at once, but that's it. When it's gone, it's gone. Does anybody have? Can put in the chat if you just have a bottle of this. You can gloat. We don't mind.
I think from the far as I remember from old Pultony, Alduni, you can expect stone fruits, peach, apricot kind of flavor. I don't know, people agree or not. I found it really good.
Yeah, well, this really kick-started the Highland Inn brand in Australia, as you pointed out, and it was a tough act to follow, but I think you've kept up. But it really set the scene for a great partnership, which we're thankful for.
Yeah.
Right, so whiskey number 3 is Japan exclusive Glen Elgin. Again, it's there in the name. Japanese exclusive.
Yep. And this one here, Glen Elgin, 15 years old. This is actually we bottled for. We have another establishment called Highlander in Chichibu, which is only 1 hour away from Tokyo. Famous city for whiskey lover. That's a home of Chichibu Distillery. So we did last year, 4 years anniversary, and actually this one not selected by me. My business partner, chap, live in Japan, also who owns a imported company called Rudder. It's small company, but very influential. So he selected the cask. And dead honest with you, after he selected this one, I didn't approve the quality, and I received 24 bottles for the bar. And when I tasted, I thought, I'm not sure about this quality. And I don't judge whiskey, only I tried once, and I tried second time, third time, and possibly fourth time. Because of my body condition, what I had for lunch and dinner, palate is not very stable sometimes. So when I tried fourth time, because when I tried first time, I'm not sure. Second time, but people here in the bar keep telling me, oh, this is fantastic, really like it. I didn't get it. But when I tried, I think fourth time, possibly fifth time, I find out this is really well matured Glen Elgin. Yeah, good grassy note. And
there's a question,
not too sweet.
Is there a second location near Tokyo, or do you just have that one near Chichibu?
Yeah, just 1 hour train journey north west of Tokyo. Yeah. That maybe you can do Google that changed the over 100 years old Japanese traditional house converted to British style bar. So if you look at one side is very modern, maybe you might find bar in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane in Australia. But if you look at other side, very Japanese traditional house. So if you have a chance to visit Japan, I highly recommend. Beautiful bar.
Well, Glenn says he's
What do
there
you
now.
think?
Is it called Highlander Inn?
Highlander in Chichibu.
Highlander Inn, Chichibu.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think this one? Glen Elgin. Glen Elgin is one of my favorite distillery. And I think little bit underestimated. Problem is all new independent bottlers, when they release every 3 months, new release, and every single of them release Glen Elgin. So I get sample, like 5-6 sample for new release, and every company, independent bottlers, bottles Glen Elgin. So at the moment, our seller, too many Glen Elgin, and I told our staff, don't buy Glen Elgin. Yeah, we have a plenty. But this is very underestimated distillery, and many Glen Elgin available from several companies.
There's some comments, cotton candy on the nose. A lot of people have said orchard fruits, green apples. The only there used to be a distillery bottling the Glen Elgin 12 that we saw from time to time in Australia, but it's not certainly not a distillery that's that has a lot of profile in this country.
Right. So I don't know which Glen Elgin distillery bottling you're talking about, David. You know the one brown bottle, brownish.
Yeah, the kind of a cream label, the 12-year-old.
Yeah, and at the moment with a sparrow or a swallow on a label, that Glen Elgin 12 years old is one of the best 12 years old distillery bottling. To me, if you compare other 12 years old distillery bottling, Cardew 12, and many stuff, I think that Glen Elgin 12 years old to me stand out. Especially if you make mizuwari, Japanese style, tall glass, plenty water, and mix with large portion of water. That's a Japanese way to drink whiskey. That's absolutely stunning.
So they just to answer Sally, that we're talking probably about 8 or 10 years ago. I found this at some Sydney bottle shop. I bought it almost by accident because I'd never seen it before, didn't know much about the distillery, and it was about $90. I thought, how wrong can you go? I was intrigued, and that's the only reason I bought it.
So $90 a bottle, is that quite reasonable or super cheap?
Well, nowadays it's reasonable. 10 years ago it was less so, but it was it's still a very good price. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Because you guys in Australia, the whiskey or alcohol duty is really high. Yeah.
Yes, we support the whole government infrastructure, just us whiskey drinkers alone.
Okay. And any comment on this? Orchard fruit, I heard, which is, I agree, orchard fruit, grassy nose.
Spiced fruit cake with cream.
Spiced cream. I don't know what you're talking about, but everybody different, right? So, like when you describe whiskey, aroma of whiskey or flavor of whiskey, all related with your individual experience. For example, when I tasted some whiskey, I say, wow, that's a taste of Sharon fruits, which is not common. It's not orange, it's not apple, it's not peach, Sharon fruit, which is maybe some people may say kaki, or some people might say persimmon, but people never ever heard Sharon fruit, persimmon. People don't know what I'm talking about. For example, people here in UK or Scotland, when they try Ira whiskey, famous phrase, oh wow, seaweed, taste of seaweed. I often feel, come on, taste of seaweed. You guys never eat seaweed. We do eat seaweed every day, every single meal almost. So Scottish people, wow, taste of seaweed. I don't know, is that they taste seaweed or not. So it's everything related with your personal experience.
Well, John reckons this has been the pick of the three so far.
Okay, yeah, good. I will pass on to my business partner, Tsuyoshi. So, shall we move on to whiskey number 4?
And number 4, that's the Auchentoshan 26. So the next 3 we do have on the whiskey list store.
Right. Okay. This one here. Yep. Auchentoshan 26 years old. This one we call annual single cask release, which is slightly different from Maggie's collection. As I explained earlier, Maggie's collection is almost a whole cask goes to one single market. So if people come from Singapore, look at our bar, oh, wow, never seen this Maggie's collection before. Oh, wow, this is, went to Japan. This one we bottled for Australia. So not everyone get Maggie's collection everywhere. But this annual single cask release, that's different concept. Once we bottled, divided 7-8 way, we have an importer and goes to all different direction. So actually we started bottling our own whiskey, started from here. Then we started Maggie's collection after this. This one here, once we bottled, depends on size of cask. If it's sherry cask, sherry butt, 500 bottle, 600 bottle, we can give good allocation for all importer. But if it's hogshead like this is not even hogshead. No, it was hogshead. Only we managed to get 187 bottle. So Japan and Taiwan, those oldest importer. I look after Australia as well, but started doing from importing business, exporting business to Japan and Taiwan originally. So trying to give, and they are also greedy, trying to give bigger allocation for Japan and Australia. Say, for example, 187 bottle here. So far as I remember, 48 bottle went to Japan, 48 for Taiwan, and I can remember maybe 12 or 18 bottle to Australia. So that's not good because only export 18 bottle. That's why we started Maggie's collection. A whole cask goes to one single market. Anyway, let's taste.
You don't often see Auchentoshan bottled by independent bottlers, and it's but certainly not in Australia, and we don't really see any of the distillery bottlings anywhere close to this age. I'm curious what if people have experienced the distillery bottlings of Auchentoshan. So was this also traditionally they triple distill? Was this also?
It is triple distill. Auchentoshan is the only distillery doing every single spirits they make triple distill still. Some people say, oh, the Springbank, Hazelbank, they also do triple distillation, but They are one distillery making 3 different style of whiskey. This distillery, every single liquid drop doing triple distillation. I think we are all victim of the popularity of Scotch whiskey nowadays. So demand is very high. All market, especially like a used to be big driver like China, they say, oh, we want more whiskey. They want more volume to ship to China, not necessarily China, same as Australia, same as possibly Japan. So company don't wait, don't leave cask in a warehouse for too long because everybody want to import whiskey. So I think same as everywhere, many non-age statement product. They physically cannot wait 12 years, 18 years, 25 years. Because soon as reach to 5, 6 years old, they create non-age statement whiskey, just they give name. When industry started doing non-age statement whiskey, I thought age is no issue. Quality is the most important things. But my opinion today, age is important. Many non-age statement whiskey is, to me, I don't know, just money maker. So this is one of the cask, Auchentoshan, just didn't bottle some reason, and I've got offer, and I purchased. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not big fan of Auchentoshan. Auchentoshan, as I explained, the triple distillation mean is taste-wise, if you try young Auchentoshan, how do you call spring hide or lot of 3 or 4 different non-age statement Auchentoshan available on market, including travel retail. To me, as close to vodka. Yeah, close to vodka. Need decent cask to give character to the liquid. But obviously, this is 26 years old, has been matured for quite a long time, and you can get like a peach or lychee kind of flavor.
So, some comments again. One of those flavor notes that you wouldn't get at all is Anzac biscuits, which is uniquely Australian, New Zealand.
What biscuit?
It's called Anzac biscuit. It's an oat. It's kind of honey and oat biscuits.
Okay, Anzac biscuit. Okay.
Full flavored, well balanced, nice summer whiskey. Some coffee on the finish, subtle on the nose, more oily on the palate.
Okay. So this one, annual
triple cask, obviously, yes. that's also an OH statement release.
Annual single cask always come with tasting note from one of the very influential leading experts from the industry. And this one, each year I ask someone, used to be until 2007, Michael Jackson, whiskey writer. He used to do tasting note for us all the time. But obviously he died 2007. Since then, we started asking another expert. So Dave Brew, Charlie McLean, or Gavin G. Smith, they did a tasting note for us. And this one is actually former distillery manager of Alistair MacDonald. Because I used to work in Suntory and used to work with Alistair, nice guy. So I asked him to do tasting note. He left Suntory now, and now he's in charge Clydeside Distillery. And his tasting note is nose, sweet and grassy, rich and syrupy. Palate, a lovely fruit connection of kiwi, cranberry, vanilla, and banana. And finish, almond undertones with black pepper. and lingering milk chocolate finish. I think I don't know how many things you agree with Alistair or not. But yeah, good tasting note, and quite many things I agree with Alistair.
Yep, Michael's picked up
good
the
one.
chocolate on the finish, a bit of the dryness, which is the tea. Yep, so I think that's pretty spot on.
Yeah, and almost like a aroma and possibly the taste of chamomile tea. I don't know you gave or not. Chamomile tea. And this is natural cask strength. I like this word, natural cask strength. 49.2. Reason why I always emphasize natural cask strength. This is, we haven't added any water. Whiskey from Glenlivet class 105, and they say on the label, cask strength. Yeah, sort of cask strength, but obviously they actually add water to control 60% ABV. So it's not wrong. They call cask strength, but I much prefer to use the word natural cask strength. We have done bottling something like a 42% ABV, which is natural cask strength. So whiskey like this, 26 years old, dropped to 49.2%. That has been kept, has been matured, very warm and dry environment, which is quite rare environment in Scotland. So I assume it's not like a has been matured traditional tonnage warehouse, only 3 layer of cask. This one has been matured big modern warehouse, maybe 10-story high and located close to the roof, the area. So temperature from the close to the soil and close to the roof, temperature is big difference. So that kind of whiskey we often pick. I do like low strength, just above 50%.
Yes, we see a lot of Australian whiskies at that, what they call cask strength at, again, as you say, like the 105, 60.0, which is
60.
Yes. So that another term that's started floating around is called distiller strength. To get natural cask strength and then distiller strength, which is whatever the distiller thinks it's best drunk at, which is
right,
which is slightly tweaked from that natural cask strength.
Right. Okay. Distiller. I quite like the word. Yeah. So hope you enjoy this one here. And we already selected cask for annual single cask release 2024, which is, I just keep quiet just now. I will send email to Chris. Yeah. At a good cask. Yeah. Bit younger than 26 years old. Yeah. But all tasting team we have here, they all agreed that's a good quality.
Well, this Auchentoshan, as you said, no more than a handful of bottles made it to Australia, or less one, which we've opened for this event, this tasting. So if you liked it, there's the 20% discount. You better get in quick because I don't think they'll last long at all.
Yeah. So what's next?
Next one is the Secret Speyside 34-year-old, which my notes say it's not such a secret.
Yeah, this one here, 1989. 1989. That's a year I finished my high school.
Yeah, where were you guys in 1980? Who was not born in 1989?
Yeah, 1989. And 1989, possibly I started my career working behind the bar. I think 1989. No, I'm talking rubbish. 1988. Yeah. I already started working about 1980, 1988. Anyway, this one, this is not actually pure Highlander in bottling. As a collaboration bottling with other two establishments. A Taiwan-based company called Whisky Find, Odincho, and a Hong Kong-based company, the Malt Cask, Coot Law. Yeah. So Coot popped into the office just over a year ago, and he gave me sample of this whiskey, and he come to me, if you like it, we can do bottling together. Then I asked Kurt what distillery is it, and he didn't know, but he told me where he bought this cask. So I have a connection. So I asked, what do you think if you taste this? Can you guess what distillery? Feel free. はい。50 working distillery. So cask number is 7-digit 211 or 6-digit 211075. So spoke to them, cask who sold to Kurt, and they think Glenlivet. And I did my own research, looking at many websites, and I believe this is Glenlivet, and tastes like a Glenlivet. Not many distillery can do the 6-figure cask number. Production need to be big. So I can say only Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, and yeah, I think only those two. And William Grant never release their stock without teaspooning. So yeah, tastes like a Glenlivet to me. What do you think?
Another clue, I think, is the if it's a ex-bourbon cask, which I think Glenlivet works really well in a bourbon cask.
American white oak Hoggy, yeah. So bourbon barrel, American white oak hogshead. Yeah. 42.4, which is kind of my favorite strength. Possibly quite similar style of liquid as Auchentoshan, stone fruit, peachy, and also very subtle refined flavor. None of the flavor is extremely demanding. For example, it's not extremely sweet, it's not extremely citrusy, it's not extremely coconutty. So all like if you make a tasting wheel, it's not like a one flavor, it's demanding, more like a evenly, more like a circle kind of style. I don't know, do you agree or not?
Just with the description, and it's I'm a fan of Glenlivet single casks. I think that's it's something that they release that Glenfiddich doesn't really release much of, and I'm sorely tempted with this one. It's in my sweet spot of flavor profile.
I think a company like a Glenlivet or maybe Distillery General, they are producing too many liquid nowadays because demand is high. Headquarter tell distillery manager make more, sell more. So making spirit is not that difficult. Yeah. But once distilled, where can they leave the liquid? Not many casks available. Maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, started having issue, difficult to get decent sherry cask. But today, difficult to get actually empty American white oak cask, barrel, or hogshead, because I think in my eyes, this industry producing too much liquid. I know this is a business, but need to have good quality or decent quality of empty cask. Started using again. I explained earlier, they use cask for 50 years approximately. But if they use second refill or a third refill, they need to leave in a cask longer, unless they make cheap blended whiskey for some other market. So quality of whiskey to me recently slightly dropped because I don't know, making too many whiskey, too much liquid.
Going to be interesting to see where because besides a lot of distilleries increasing production, like Glenlivet massively increased their production, plus new distilleries coming online in Scotland. Where's all that spirit going to? Is there going to be a saturation in the market, you think?
Yeah. I think Scottish whiskey industry peak is past. Yeah. Big driver like China, their economy massively slow down. And European market is a very steady, but cannot expect like another peak. Very sophisticated market. They go for more like a quality rather than quantity. In my eyes, all distillery, especially big boys, making too much whiskey. Glenlivet is okay, I think, doing very sensible, but I don't know, maybe not fair to discuss a company like a Macallan, for example, big expansion and making, I don't know how many they are making, 120 million, 120, no, 12 million liter, maybe 30 million liter liquid every year. I don't know, 10 years time, 12 years time, where can they sell? And another story, China started making whiskey. Maybe one day, 5, 6, 7 years time, Chinese people started drinking their own whiskey. And I will not buy, to be honest. Yeah. So I don't know. Very interesting to see whiskey industry maybe next decade. I think my prospect is, stuff like this, 34 years old or 26 years old whiskey will be easier to get. And the cask price currently reducing since maybe just about a year ago. I think the selling cask or investing cask hits a peak. That's possibly including, I don't know, I'm sure maybe some of you do that, buy whiskey investment, buy bottle today for the pension, retirement pension. I don't know. That's also kind of slow down a little bit.
Right. Well, it's something that is fascinating to watch, and from a consumer side, we'll just continue drinking great whiskies while we watch the industry unfold.
Yeah.
Right, we're on to the last one, number 6.
Must be this.
That's you mentioned Maggie's often enough, so now we've got the Australian exclusive Royal Brackla 14 Maggie's collection, which is at a very appealing price. Just looking at it on our website, even without the 20% discount.
How much are you normally selling for this?
Well, it's listed at $2.19.
$2.19. So if it's pound, kind of half, 110.
Half it for pounds. So it's
okay.
110.
110 and the 20% discount.
Remember, about
Yeah.
$35–40 of that is excise.
Gee whiz. I thought UK is expensive enough. Okay, at a Royal Brackla, which is talking to one of the independent bottlers, guy from the sales rep, and he said Royal Brackla, also many people bottling Royal Brackla. So he said, I didn't say, I think Royal Brackla is quite rare, not super rare. To me, Glen, Elgin, Linkwood, Dal, Ewing, Ben Rines, everybody doing, everybody. But Royal Brackla is, I don't see that much on the market. And this is not Speyside, that's a Highland. When I pick the cask, when we, not only me, we have another tasting panel in a office. Most likely, when I taste it, buy it, done. No, hardly ever happen. I think never happened before. We receive 20 samples and tasting one by one. And often nowadays, reject. And if I use bad word, shit, rubbish, and all send back to the supplier. But during a tasting, some sample, oh wow, I may taste tomorrow again. This is quite interesting. And this one, I keep for tomorrow. Then next day, I taste again, but very high likely those whiskey also we don't select. So most of our whiskey bottling from soon as we taste it, oh wow, this is good, by bottle. So this is a one good example. Yeah, when we taste it, all of us, three of us, we all agreed that we should buy bottled for Highlander. Have a taste.
And the background too, while they're busy tasting it, to the Maggies and the artwork on the label.
Yeah, this is obviously the local artist who died 7 years ago. Maggie Rigler, she used to live a couple door next from Highlander. And she used to design our annual single cask release from 2001 to 2012. So I took over Highlander from Duncan Elphick year 2015. I went to see Maggie. We buy the cask again because from 2012 to 2015, Duncan stopped doing bottling, many reasons. So when I took over business, I wanted to bring back bottling side as well. So went to see Maggie to create label for us. And she said to me, delighted to doing picture again. But a couple of months later, she passed away. So now another friend, another artist called Hans de Lis from Netherlands, he's doing our label like this. So, but I'm lucky enough to access to her old picture, masterpieces. So still Maggie's husband, Stuart, living couple door next to Highlander Inn. So spoke to him. If I can use Maggie's old artwork, I can create new range called Maggie's collection. So yeah, he agreed. I gave him couple bottles free. And this one, if you look at Diageo bottling or the Brackla, that's a similar kind of species on the label. This is actually wren. I don't know. You have in Australia wren, and small bird, the common bird in UK. That's why I used this artwork for the Royal Brackla.
Well, while you're busy sipping on that, I'll put up the poll. I'll keep it up for a bit, and you can vote for your
yeah.
favorites.
Oh, right, okay. Oh. Okay, one person, yeah.
Well, we'll give him a few minutes because
Okay, yeah. Oh, Glen Elgin. Water
this
of
is
life.
always the fun part to see the race.
So what are they everybody voting only favorite number one whiskey?
Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that they didn't like the others, but it's just what the standout just for the night is.
Right, okay. See, like I'm watching same screen, this result. I think whiskey, everybody different, right? Everybody has different palate, individually different. That shows. Yeah. To
I would
me,
use the example of music.
yeah.
If you like music, you don't always listen to one song or one artist. It depends on your mood. It depends on
very true.
mood at the time. We could run this poll tomorrow with the same group of people, and we'll have different results.
Yeah. Tonight, the only whiskey I didn't taste because I don't have a stock, water of life. But I don't know these 6 whiskeys. Possibly water of life can be my favorite. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm glad this result. Many people like Oishii Guerin Wisuki, which is grain is not everyone's favorite. Yeah. Wow,
Okay, so
very
everybody cast their
interesting.
votes. We can end the poll and share the results.
There
you go.
Okay. But again, as a Royal Brackla, only 14 years old, and the Secret Speyside is 34 years old, and many people enjoyed Secret Speyside, but it's not fair to compare 34 years old whiskey and 14 years old.
And then the Glen Elgin is
very surprised.
Yeah. But there's something for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting.
Well,
This is.
It was a fantastic selection. 3 unicorns that we are no longer available. 3 that still are available in Australia. Thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure getting your insights, not only on individual bottlings, but in the industry as a whole, because obviously you keep a keen eye on what's happening. And I think there's some people who will be joining us on our tour in November to Scotland, where we'll be spending a couple of nights at Highlander Inn.
Yep. Oh, I already spoke to Chris. I'm really sorry when you come over here. I don't know who is coming, but I won't be here. I need to go to travel Southeast Asia, visiting 4 countries, promoting Highlander Inn and Highlander Inn bottling. However, the Billy Shanks, bar manager, and Kay, another tall Japanese guy, very dedicated whiskey man. So they will look after when you are here.
Well, that's Chris and I will be hosting our group, and my only suggestion is that to make up for you not being there, I hope you're going to leave a special bottle for us to enjoy in your absence.
Right. Okay.
That's a challenge.
I'm sure you will have a good time. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks everybody for joining us, and just put that link in again. To the shop. And
thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, really enjoyed, and few interesting bottling is coming. Some very young, and some very old. Yeah, I will speak to Chris, and hopefully you keep enjoying Highlander in bottling in Australia.
We definitely will. Thanks very much. See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.